Hi, in this video I'm going to be looking at the Naish S26 series wing foil setup. I'm just getting into it. 6'5" and about 200 pounds. So I've got some of the bigger gear. I've got the S26 foil with a 2450 wing, the 125 liter GS board, and the 6'8" kite sail. And I'll be showing the unboxing of it and the rigging of the sail and some of the initial pumping of the sail, how I load it into the car, and then I'll have a follow-on video about impressions of the board. Well, everybody loves an unboxing, so here it is from the time I received it. Here it is on its side, ready to cut open. As you can see, it's really well packed. I like this honeycomb, so it's really well protected. This is just a close-up of the honeycomb cardboard protection. So this is the Naish S26 Hover Wing GS construction. First thing I noticed is how big it is. So once I got it out, I just laid it on top of the box and took a look at it. Then I decided I'd grab my size 12 shoes and throw it on there. So that gives you a sense of how damn big this thing is. And this is a close-up of the decking. It's not too aggressive, which should be pretty good on my knees. So here was the goal. Can I fit it in a Prius, which will be my main transport? It's what I've carried all my kite gear in. So surprisingly, yes, it'll fit in there. And I'm able to lay it flat. So this is great. This passes the test of not having to get a roof rack. Next up is the foil. So the box that this came in was pretty beat up when it arrived. The box is totally oversized because when I opened it up, I found that what was inside it was much smaller. It's this nice Naish bag. I'm going to open it up and walk through what we got in this thing. So inside the box is the 6'8" sail and the bag for the foils. Inside the foil bags, there are another protection for the foils themselves. Also in the bag are some tools. We got the Torx tool as well as the bolts for attaching to the board. Here's a close-up of the foil. I really wasn't prepared for how nice this front foil looks like. The carbon fibers just amazing finish. And then there's my size 12 shoe again, showing that comparison. Next up we have the stabilizer and the mast itself. Stabilizer is again same nice quality as the front wing. And I'm looking at the mast itself. I was surprised at how light it is. It's aluminum mast, but it's very lightweight. And then here's a look at the fuselage. I really like the way that it's going to embed really in that front wing. And then the tapered look to it, and then kind of the T-molded aluminum. And this is the close-up of the hardware and the Torx screw driver. Not that big a deal. And laying the fuselage into the mast, you can see how nice that is. I'll put the whole thing together after a bit. This is just the hardware and the little pocket that it goes into. Next up is the sail, or the wing, or kite, or whatever you want to call it. First impressions of it is it's very heavy. I was surprised for its size that it was pretty heavy. Packaged well, came out all zipped up, and here I am laying it out for the first time on the back deck. And again, unfolding it. Mostly took these pictures so I could get an idea of how to refold it. Again, unfolding. This is a kite flat on the deck, ready for inspection. First thing I see is they've got the SUP type inflation, which is kind of nice. The only real problem with it is it doesn't deflate very quickly. It takes quite a bit of effort when I'm folding it back up to get all the air out of it. So this is the first inflation. It's sitting out on the grass in a nearby park. Once again, it's the Naish S26 Wing Surfer 6.8 square meter size. And the first thing I notice when it's all the way out there is how rectangular it is. And this will be a challenge keeping the wing tails out of the water and off the ground, and you'll see that when I've got it out on the beach. The other thing that's interesting is the diameter of these chambers. I've got a slingshot 17, and this feels like it's probably a good inch or two bigger in diameter. So I have it in a neighborhood park. It's probably blowing about 8 miles an hour and coming from different directions, but I wanted to see what it looked like, get it up in the air. And one thing you can tell is the trailing edge of the wing and how much it's going to catch in the grass during these low wind speeds. Again, it's a little bit probably maybe 6 to 8 mile an hour winds. And I'm just playing around with this for the first time. I'm finding it pushing out with my backhand really tries to keep that lower tip out of the water. It's barely flying right now. Now I finally got to get it out in some real wind. I'm at Golden Gardens Park in Seattle, and it's probably blowing 15 to 20. And just really getting my first chance at playing around with it. I'm trying to kind of get down low and see how it feels pulling me up. And kind of like windsurfing, I really prefer that underhand grip with the front hand and overhand grip with the rear hand. One thing I noticed is as soon as the tip seemed to want to hit the ground, I went ahead and just kind of let go or released with the rear hand and pulled up to get the kite back into more of a neutral position. After working one side, I'd go ahead and try changing over to the other side and just practicing stance on both sides. As I was starting to feel more comfortable, I started working on pumping the sail, trying those methods that I've been seeing online about kind of doing a circular action with it. And so here you see me trying that. Here I'm kind of getting myself into position to be kneeling and trying to get a water start, what it might be from a kneeling position. So this whole time I'm just basically playing with the sail, trying to get a feel of it before I get on the board. Different thing I noticed is how squirrely the sail is, and being able to kind of control it with the pivot of the front hand. So I pretty much spent a good part of an hour just getting used to the sail and how it was reacting and switching it from one side to the other, playing around in the gusts. And I felt like this was really valuable before I get anywhere near getting on the board, is to get used to this kite, the way it performs just on the beach. Next time out, I'm going to look at just getting out on the board by itself and see how that feels, how much flotation there is, and basically carrying it around with the foil and seeing how it performs in the water. I feel like if I do these two things separate, I'm going to get a chance to understand how they work by themselves.